Alright, back with another Learning Thieves installment, or Learning Legacy Thieves, whatever we're calling this. Our opponent normally plays Elves. I'd keep this against anything. And they do play other decks, but I think they're normally on Elves. But you don't mulligan this hand, right? It's got mana, cantrips, a removal spell, forces. This hand's just excellent. Let's see. Green Sun. Okay. If I saw this, I would think Elves over Nickfit, but both are in principle possible from this point. I guess it could also be... I don't really need more of that stuff that I already have. It could also in principle be like 4-color loam. But I'm leaning towards Elves because of the player, and my hand is really just a bunch of powerful spells right now, so I'm interested in pitching Brainstorm as opposed to Ponder. Right, I am currently liking my decision. Okay, to hit the Glimpse. So, interesting. I think we're going to Ponder looking for a land. We have found the land. And then we're going to throw a Fatal Push at the Dryad Arbor. Because it makes the most unconditional mana next turn. Right, this only makes mana on the condition of them playing another elf. Okay, I don't want to play Dak here because they can fetch another Dryad Arbor and kill it, so my plan for now is to Punishing Fire a Dryad Arbor. If they play one. I should have probably killed something in the upkeep. It's probably correct to just kill the Niddle Sentinel here. They have a lot of lands. Okay, so our opponent appears to be flooding. That is a great draw, but let's just try to stabilize with Dak. We really like to draw a blue card here. Perfect. This is really good against Glimpse of Nature, and this will clean up the board next turn if they play out more dudes. And they're incentivized to, because these two alone won't be able to kill Dak next turn. Be nice to not have to force here, but of course we may have to if they play a natural order. If they do not, then we will throw a Deluge. Green Zenith. Huh. I'm probably supposed to just counter this and wipe their board. I'm not super excited to get rid of the Leo there, but I think I'm supposed to just wipe their board. Don't need another Dak Fade in. I think I'm actually more interested in the land there than the Strix, so let's blow up the board. So now they're down to 3 mana, no cards in hand, no creatures. So they're in a pretty rough spot, and we're in a pretty strong position here. I'm going to hold this up. I'm not sure how many forests they play nowadays, but I think using Snapcaster as a removal spell is probably better than as a random cantrip. Because now we get to start attacking. looking for Grove of the Burnt Willows. If we find Grove, the game will pretty much be over. Ditto Jace, I think. I probably don't actually want the Jace here. Yeah, I think I actually want to shuffle away Jace. I need to find removal spells now. I can't spend a bunch of mana on Jace. I mean, of course, we're not drawing extremely well. There we go. Does he want to draw a card? Or no? Okay, so that tells me I should not be attacking. Creature plus hoof doesn't kill me, I don't think, if I don't attack. That's... I didn't do the math. It was just off the top of my head, but the hoof would be 9-10 damage with just one creature, and this prevents that from killing me, so not attacking, definitely a good plan. Ultimating deck here also is pretty decent because we can then like steal the attacking creatures if it gets to that point. Probably correct to just keep drawing, but oops. Okay, so not being dead here, great. Very, very good. We are turning the corner. Here we're holding on to one copy of Punishing Fire to kill any random. He doesn't have another Arbor, most likely, so don't need to worry about that. But we will kill, like if he plays, I guess like a Visionary, we'll kill it with its trigger on the stack. Okay, gives up. Nice. Okay, taking game one is good. Very good. So I think that some people think my board strategy here is a little weird, so I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain it. I also need to remind myself exactly what it is. So, a couple island. I think this is it. So I'm not super interested in Spellbomb for hopefully obvious reasons. I'm not super interested in Island. I just want to keep my spell density high. I think it's best to cut a basic here because Groves are really powerful. And you don't want to cut Swamp because one of the ways that they beat you is by choking you. So I think it's best to cut a basic Island if you're going to cut a land in this matchup. And Baleful Strix, like, blocking doesn't really do anything. They very rarely can get on the plan of sort of the elf beatdown plan. Like, it happens sometimes, but not frequently enough that I'm keeping in Baleful Strix for it. And then you just all-purpose answers to their creatures, but mostly for, like, choke. Pernicious Deeds a Sweeper, Notion Thief turns off Glimpse and Visionary, Lay on a Last Hope, repeatable removal spell. The sort of controversial thing, I guess, is Edicts. The thing is, like, you don't get to, sure they're a, like, go wide deck or something, but if you edict them, you're killing a creature every time. Whereas Punishing Fire, you're restricted to targeting the symbiote. At least with To the Slaughter and Edict, you're killing a creature every time. It's the worst creature, but you're keeping their density of creatures low, which is what you need. You just need to keep them low to the ground so that you get time to deploy your planeswalkers and protect them. Also, sometimes they bring in cards like Progenitus, and you need answers to Progenitus. So this is what I do. I like to keep in all of my, or as much cheap interaction as I can, and then sweepers and ways of closing the game out. Let's try. This is unfortunately a mulligan. This hand's not great, but I think it's a keep. Question is, what do I want to get rid of? And I think it's close. I think because every card in the hand is something that I'm going to want, I'm going to pitch... I think it's between a Brainstorm and a Ponder, because I think I want the lands. I guess I'll throw back a Ponder, and I can Ponder on one, and then if I end up flooding, I can use Brainstorm to unflood. I guess that's probably the best thing, is to have a mix of these effects rather than two Ponders, but I do think it's close. Okay, removal spell. It'd be nice to draw a 2-mana removal spell. Okay. I think I'm going to end up wanting all of these. We'll see. Thoughtseize, okay. When they're Thoughtseizing you, I mean, I think they need to have these kinds of effects because some of your permanent haymakers like Notion Thief are so powerful. But it feels pretty good from my end if I'm not like super far behind and I'm getting Thoughtseized. Also, they need to worry about Deluge indeed, but like the fact that this is not an elf for this current hand is pretty nice. And if they might like take the Punishing Fire, thinking if he doesn't have a two mana removal spell, like what's he gonna do? But then I can just Edict on my turn, and that's still pretty good. I don't know what they're thinking. Yeah, like I don't know what the right thing to take is. If they're trying to play a long game, it's probably Notion Thief. If they're trying to end the game very soon, it might even be Punishing Fire, as weird as that is. I suspect he's probably thinking exactly that. Like, Punishing Fire is a weird card to take. Like, you almost never discard this. So that could be what he's thinking. Like, I think this game's going to end soon if he doesn't have a removal spell, so take the Punishing Fire. Alternatively, he could have just decided he needed to use the bathroom or something like this. Takes Brainstorm. Okay. Aquarian Ranger, also fine. Generates a lot of mana, though. We're going to be killing the Aquarian Ranger, given the opportunity. Okay, kill the Aquarian Ranger. And then the following turn, assuming we get a following turn, it's probably going to be Kolaghan's Command, unless we get choked, then it'll be an Edict. Next with one creature. This could be a choke. Scavenging Ooze. Okay. It's pretty annoying, but yeah, we just kind of waste their mana a little bit there. I probably should have upkeeped this Kolaghan's Command. That was a mistake. So now I'm giving them a choice. How much damage do I want to take here? Kind of want to cut them off of choke as a possibility, so I'm actually just going to kill the Llanowar Elves here. And, you know, we'll take a little bit of extra damage, but if we draw another 2-mana removal spell, we're actually okay. Because we can kill the Niddle Sentinel and then Edict the Ooze. And they don't know about the Edict. It's unfortunate there that I couldn't get back to B-Fire. Okay. So no creature this turn would be nice. Rainstorm, okay. Assassin Trophy is fantastic. Let's go like this. We can use up some of their mana on their turn by threatening to return this Punishing Fire. Even though we do have another one. Okay, so I think we're actually in a great spot. Did they mulligan this game? It feels like they don't have very many cards. They did mulligan, okay. I missed that. Okay. And here we're just going to kill both dudes. We just don't want to get natural ordered or something next turn. And as we see here, the Edict just ended up being a removal spell, and that was fine. Now, their Visionaries are going to lose a lot of value because we will have Notion Thief. This is going to get a Bayou to play around Choke. We want to be as insulated from Choke as we can be. So let's fetch Bayou and play a Notion Thief, and then return Brushing Fire. Okay, so I think we're in a good spot right now. And if we find a DAC, we'll be in a great spot. This can cast Punishing Fire twice, so I don't need to play this land here. And I'm not gonna try to do any damage with Punishing Fire here to play around Surgicals that they may draw. They didn't have one earlier, but that doesn't mean they won't draw one. Okay, this is amazing. We just get to fire and forget this Pernicious Steed here. They might have like an Abrupt Decay or something, but it's fine. This can get swamped, which is good to be aware of. Okay, that's totally fine. We will happily draw a card. Yeah, so I'm going to get a swamp here. I'm going to do a play that might look weird at first. I'm going to Punishing Fire, and I'm not going to regrow. I'm going to Inquisition to play around Surgical. So Inquisition first. Okay. Very good to know what their hand is. Okay, so this Snapcaster for Edict is going to be pretty good about dealing with that natural order, mostly. Um, actually, they could have Archon. I think I just need to accelerate the clock because that I'm actually pretty scared of Archon. There we go. That should do it. Okay. That's not exactly typical of how Elves goes. I think the matchup is slightly favorable, but I think we got a little lucky in the second game, and our first hand just lined up very well against theirs because we found that deluge. But the matchup is close. I think that there were a lot of typical play patterns, but I think the games tend to be a little closer than this. So thank you all for joining on this round, and I'll see you for the next one.